doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
All right. We're here with Chef Brian Luscher, and I just want to ask you a few questions about your venue in Dallas, and why would that be a go-to place to spend my good money in dining?
Well, if you come to Dallas, we're ranked one of the top 10 restaurants in Dallas. It's called the Grape restaurant. It's been open since 1972. I've owned it for 7 years, and I was chef for the original owners for about 5 years prior to that. We've always been known for an ever-changing chalkboard menu. We do all of our own charcuterie. We've got a great bistro menu as well, steak, frites, roasted chicken, great pasta, salad, charcuterie. And then our monthly menu changes seasonally. Kind of some of it's, all of it's very seasonal. Some of it's just what we're into, some of it's very chefy, and some of it is just plain kind of, like I said, what we're into right now. But it's a fun bistro where, sometimes when you go to dinner, and you go to a nice dinner, it feels like you're almost penalized, like you're in church. You've got to sit there, put your hands in your lap and whisper. I want people to laugh loud. I want their elbows on their table. I want the cheeks shiny, maybe, just a little half a glass more than they should have of wine, and just really enjoying themselves. So whether it's just Tuesday night dinner, or if it's, two couples celebrating like a big anniversary, a big date, or big, first dates, we get a lot of marriage proposals. It's just a fun, neat place that's very quaint.
All right. And tell us about your other venture you're doing also.
Well, we just opened up another restaurant. It's called Luscher's Red Hots, and it is Luscher's Red Hots, Taste Texas, Chicago style. And I was from Chicago originally, and I couldn't find great hot dogs and Italian beefs that we grew up with, so I decided to start making my own. All of our sausages are handmade, natural casings, locally raised, antibiotic, steroid, hormone-free meats, always. Local produce, we make the mustard, the pickles, the peppers. We get the bread from a local father and son bakery, but it's still just a good hot dog. And it's our tribute to a Chicago-style hot dog. We've got bratwurst and gyros, but again, it's the chef's take on these blue-collar classics. Our burger is just a bacon double cheeseburger, but with all the great ingredients that we put on it. D Magazine, Dallas's premier glossy, named it the best burger in the city of Dallas.
Oh my goodness! Well, I'm definitely coming the next time I'm in Dallas.
For sure.
I love a good burger.
Bon Appetit also just named it one of the top 50 new restaurants in the United States.
Congratulations!
Yeah, I'm very proud.
That's really, really wonderful. Now, just going back a few years, what was your inspiration, or maybe that culinary connection where you decided, hey, I love food, I want to cook, I want to do this for a living?
Well, if you ask my mother, she'll say that I've always wanted to do this. When I was 4 years old, I had a little restaurant set up in my bedroom. My uncle and grandfather owned a couple generations old hamburger joint in the city that we grew up in, just outside of Chicago, and one of my uncles would hold me up as they flipped burgers, and I just enjoyed going in there so much. I've always been drawn to it.
Yeah, it's pretty much in your blood.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I know that you spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but when you're not there and you're at home, what are some of your favorite meals to cook for your family?
You know what? It's very simple, and we like to just get a real good quality protein, piece of salmon, beautiful local chicken, a nice cut of beef, and we'll just kind of saute it, or a pork cut, and just kind of saute it and roast it. Make just a little bit of sauce in the pan, maybe. I love boiled potatoes. But this is how simple, this is how simple that we do it. Nice little rice, a nice little starch, a salad, some fresh veg, and it's something also that our daughter, who's 9, enjoys, and she can be part of that process. Not super complicated, because that's what we eat all of our restaurant food all the time. So we just very simple, and dinner, we don't want dinner to impact our family time that we do get.
All right, very nice. Now, what is your go-to kitchen gadget? One you just cannot live without, that you love, that you use all the time?
I am not one that is for the whimsical gadgetry.
Okay.
For me, as a gadget though, sharp knife. Great, it doesn't have to be a $500 Japanese something, although if somebody wants that, that's fine. good $40, $50, $60 quality chef knife. Learn how to sharpen it. So having a good steel to sharpen your knives frequently, to hone your knives frequently, learn how to sharpen your knives on a stone. That to me is what will make cooking for folks at home, especially civilians, if you will.
Right.
This will make it more enjoyable, because when it's a dull knife, it's difficult. But when you have that, it's almost inspiring to have a really good sharp knife.
Go get the knife sharpened.
Yeah.
And we're here at Desert to Dish.
Yes.
So what brought you here or attracted you to this event?
Well, I was really interested as I started talking to Chef Michael Carnes about the agriculture, both small and large scale, here in Arizona. It was very fascinating, and the number of artisan and small producers and organic farms and ranchers and cheese makers, really super fascinating. So just to come out here and get a behind the scenes, close-up tour of all that was worth the price of admission.
It was really inspiring to find out about all the different venues and that bring all this great produce and food to the tables. And I'm sure you have that in Dallas also. And just the final question, I know that your restaurant's called the Grape, so you must have a favorite bottle of wine or a favorite varietal.
I'm a super huge fan of red Burgundies. I'm also, one of my go-to favorite just wines to drink in general is a New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc. Schramsberg Blanc de Noir is a favorite as far as sparkling wine goes. I do also like the cab blends from the Pacific Northwest. Oregon and Washington State, just absolutely delicious.
All right, and do you have a guilty pleasure food? I'm sure you love it all, but is there one thing or a couple things that you just go to?
A big bacon cheeseburger. And it's almost like I want the grease dripping down my arms, and lots of cheese, and that is my comfort food. I absolutely enjoy it.
All right. Well, I know we're going to have a lot of good food here today. I just want to thank you for your time.
Well, the Omni Montelucia Spa and Resort, absolutely gorgeous property. Super gracious staff, very welcoming. They're happy. They're pleased to serve you. And I can't wait to come back here on my own time.
Oh, great. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.